and I praise you. Amen.
Amen. Life is like a freight train, slowing me down. There's a friend I found. He lights the way, turns the night to day, gives me strength to roll on. Can't you see? Can't you see what my Jesus been doing for me? Can't you see? Can't you see what my Jesus been doing for me? He climbed the mountain I couldn't climb, gave his life to save mine. Grave couldn't hold him down, my sins can't be found. They're washed away, I've been redeemed. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what my Jesus been doing for me? Can't you see? Can't you see what my Jesus been doing for me? I take his place on a northbound train. Friends, don't be left behind. Day is coming soon, he'll be calling us home. All aboard, we're glory bound. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what my Jesus been doing to me? Can't you see? Lord, can't you see what my Jesus been doing for me? At the mention of his name, walls crumble, lies are changed. In the midst of life's temptation, he's there to see us through. This man of which I speak is here today for you and me. His name is Jesus, but you can call him as you please. They call him Emmanuel, a King of all kings, the Son of the Father, a Prince of Peace. They call him Hosanna, a lighthouse at sea, a rock of ages. He's a friend to me. Many times I've called his name, prayed for forgiveness when used in vain. Ah, but there's a peace in knowing his forgiveness is the same. Most famous in his story, things he spoke, the whole world still reads. His name is Jesus, and you can call him as you please. They call him Emmanuel, a King of all kings, the Son of the Father, a Prince of Peace. They call him Hosanna, a lighthouse at sea, the rock of ages. He's a friend to me. They call him Hosanna, a lighthouse at sea, a rock of ages. He's a friend to me, a rock of ages. He's a friend to me.
There it is. Perfect. Thank you, buddy. All righty. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Does anybody in here, you ever watched that pro wrestling, the WWE, or you at least know what it is? You know, you got those big old beefcakes running around, bouncing off ropes, and chairs are flying everywhere, tables are busting. That's kind of what I'm going to be talking about tonight, except not quite. Just more of a biblical version of it. I hope I don't get trademark infringements for this. But my title's not WWE, but it's WWG, Wrestling with God. And so whenever I think about this, I can picture the pay-per-view infomercial now. You know, it's like, this Friday night, it's the undisputed heavyweight universal champion, God Almighty, versus the young up-and-comer, Jacob the Deceiver. Buy your tickets now. We'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. You know, something along those lines. But on a more serious note, though, like, how crazy is it that somebody squared up with God and thought they could go toe-to-toe with him? What if I told you that that's actually a very Christian thing to do? It's a very healthy Christian thing to do. Because when the hard times come, ultimately they can bring us face to face with who God really is and his true nature. And the more we learn about him, the more we learn about ourselves in turn. It takes us to a deeper level of his love and his faith, or our faith in him. And the reason that is because we were made simply to be with God. We weren't made to do anything for him. He doesn't need anything from us. So we were made to worship him. We were made to love and be loved by him. And so that being said, the thing we need the most in this world, it's not better health, it's not better relationships, it's not a better job. But what it is an encounter with God. That's what we need the most in this life. So I'm just going to say, we shouldn't be surprised that if we seek God's face and pray to see him and find ourselves in the middle of a tough situation. So that brings me to Jacob. Where I'm going to start, it's going to be right in the middle of his story, so I'm going to give a little bit of a background because context is very important to me. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. Jacob is the grandson of Abraham and the son of Isaac. He is one in a set of twins. His older brother's Esau, and whenever Esau was born, he came out of the womb first. So he was the firstborn. He got the firstborn inheritance and all that, which that'll come in a second. Anyway, when Jacob was born, he came into the world after Esau, but he was grabbing his brother's heel. And so his name literally means one who grasps the heel. And that's actually a Hebrew idiom for somebody who is deceptive. And in the Hebrew culture, somebody's name wasn't just an identifier like what we use it as. Their name was a part of who they were. And so as this was very literal for Jacob, it was also a foreshadowing to the kind of man that he would become. Anyway, fast forward a little bit. These kids, they grow up and they're both men. Jacob was favored more by his mother. Esau was favored more by his father, Isaac. Anyway, Jacob, being the deceptive little squirt that he was, tricked his brother out of his inheritance, and then later tricked his father into giving him the blessing that was meant for his older brother, Esau. All this, as you could imagine, made for kind of a sticky family situation. So Isaac told Jacob to beat feet and get out of here, or else your brother's probably going to try to whack you. So anyway, with his father's blessing, he left for his uncle Laban's home. And as he was leaving his father's camp, he left the promised land of Canaan. And as he was leaving, he fell asleep, and God gave him a vision, which a lot of scholars would call Jacob's ladder. And in this vision, he saw angels ascending and descending to heaven, which was basically God's way of saying, you're in the middle of a pretty sticky situation. Granted, you got yourself in it, but even though you're in the middle of this mess, this just quagmire, that God and heaven are still working behind the scenes for the good. Even though we may not see it, it's still happening. Anyway, Jacob finds his way to his uncle Laban's home, and this is where he meets both of his wives. he has several sons, and God makes him to prosper. Also, what happened when he had the vision was he woke up and he's made a vow with God. He said that if you would protect me and make me to prosper and bring me back to my father's home, I will make you my Lord. So the God of Abraham at this time was not Jacob's God. He was behind the scenes working for Jacob, but Jacob had not yet accepted him for this. And then he named the place Bethel, which means the house of God. Anyway, he goes to his uncle Laban's house, meets his wife, has kids, and prospers. And then, again, Jacob gets to being Jacob and finds himself in another sticky family situation. So again, the Lord tells him that he needs to leave. And so in the night, he takes his wives and they sneak off. Laban runs him down. They catch up. They have a whole confrontation. You can go read about it. In fact, I would encourage you to. And then from there, he keeps going and goes on to continue to the land of Canaan. And that's going to bring us to where we're going to start. And that's going to be Genesis chapter 28, verse 10. Excuse me. No, that was where he was. Genesis chapter 32. My apologies. Genesis chapter 32, verse 1.